What is up, guys, and welcome to another episode of Mock Review here on the SW Bricks and Figs channel. This is the series where I take some of the best mocks that I find on the internet and talk about some of the techniques that goes into them. We also have a look at the best mock building series that are currently going on YouTube, as well as taking a look at all of your mocks that you've sent in to me. So just a reminder, if you guys want your mock featured in the next episode, make sure to drop me a message with some photos on Instagram. There'll be a link down in the description down below. And with that, there'll be links to every single builder that's featured in this episode of Mock Review. But without further ado, let's get into the first section, which is the featured mocks. So the first mock featured on the list is Operation Sandstone by Andrew. Now this is a phenomenal mock. The angles, the use of lights and the total greebling and everything like that is absolutely fantastic. It comes together to make a really awesome scene. You can see some rebels as well as some droids fighting off some stormtroopers, which is a really cool little battle right here. You can see, I presume the rebels have reprogrammed some droids to take on those stormtroopers. You can see the stormtroopers are huddled inside of this sort of entryway into this giant bunker at the back. Starting from the front, we have some amazing lights gleaming down on a couple of the areas of the mock. These are really well done and they're nice little lamppost designs. You can see next to that we have a sloped area of the wall with some really nice greebling and a really nice use of different black pieces to make some sort of smoky explosion. Again, a cool little bit of light in there as well. Then we have the actual sort of lettering on the front of the base, which is in a really nice angle. It's so hard to get these crazy different angles and they look amazing, especially with the lights and the trans red. I think this looks really good. Up above it we switch from dark grey to dark tan and we have a couple of elements of light grey in there as well, and it looks really nice as well. I really like the angles again that he managed to get with this, and just overall this base has some ridiculous angles featured in it. That giant medical symbol off to the right hand side is amazing, again with the lights and the trans red. Really nice work, and some more greebles up the other side, including two more of those big lampposts. I really love the way they look, and they really do a good job of highlighting those rebels and droids as they're attacking the Imperials. Speaking of the Imperials, we have some nice greebles on the insides of the walls next to where the Imperials are stood. You can see they've sort of barricaded themselves with a load of cargo crates and stuff, and we have a nice sort of doorway sort of thing out the back there with the trans blue, which looks amazing. Just again, the greebling and the angles are just incredible in this mock. It's really something to look at and sort of take into consideration when you're building your own mocks. I really love the freeform design as well. I like how it goes from that smooth design on the sides where the lampposts are into the sort of more rocky design in the middle, and then back to the smooth on the other side as well. I think this is just an incredible use of pieces, an incredible showcase of how to use lights, angles and greebles to make your mocks really come alive. So the next mock is by Medieval Builder, and he comes in with this bunker on Mimban. Now I really like the design of this. I think the use of the different colours on the actual terrain is really nice. He hasn't just gone for reddish brown, he's gone for some nice little bits of nougat in there, as well as the dark brown as well, and then it's got some nice rock work on either side as well, and sprinkled in with the terrain. And then we fade into the platform with a nice transition where a couple of bits of brown are fading into the actual sort of more man-made structures on the side, with some really nice greebles again with some cool angles wrapping around the sides of the buildings. And it's a great way of showing how to do a flat surface but with tons of different details in there. You can see he hasn't left one bit of it really that flat. You've got like different corners, different sort of transitions and stuff like that, and then a cool little sort of dugout bit with the dark bluish grey running around the top. That's a really nice accent consistent across the entire building with some nice piping and stuff like that on top, with some cool minifigs as well. We have some Wookiee prisoners here just doing some mining or some work down there. You can see a nice little use of the whip piece right there, and I like this sort of generator thing off to the right with the astromech head on the top and some really cool ski pieces down on the bottom. A nice little effect down there. I think this looks incredible. I love the Mimban troopers. I can't believe he has so many of these. It's an absolutely incredible number of Mimban troopers, especially considering how expensive they are, but really good mock in general. And I do really love the planet Mimban. I'd love to tackle it myself one day. Next up, I'm featuring a builder that I've featured many times on this series before, and he's a really great builder, and he made this Downfall on Paradise, and this is by Imperial Brick Productions. Now this might just be his best mock yet. You can see from that faded out sort of image, I love the way he films and shoots his different stuff like that. I think it's just an incredible mock. We'll start with some of the details of the actual base itself. I think the sort of design where it flows and sort of cuts off half of the actual build, it's a really big building, but he's done it in a really good way so that it doesn't encapsulate too much space or doesn't take up too much space. It's kind of like just a border around the back side, and there's some great uses of different textures and greebles again in this mock. I really love this design on the back here. Loads of masonry turned around the wrong way and loads of different things like that, which is really good. That massive pillar or turret in the middle is amazing. I love the illumination with the lights, and some of the ground details are really nice as well. I'll definitely be using this as some inspiration for my Imperial base mock that I'm currently working on. The stormtroopers look really good. The posing of every single minifigure seems so deliberate. I love this shot right here with this rebel running away from that giant explosion. You can see he's got that Boba Fett head with some scars and stuff like that. He's also got some custom arms and sort of like a waist belt and stuff like that, and this just looks really good. And you can see in the background there's that Scarif Trooper getting blasted. Now that looks incredible as well. And I love the way this MOC turned out. I think everything from the turret to the beach to the sand to the trees to the foliage and even the water looks unbelievable. I really do love this builder. I think his work is absolutely stunning, and I really can't wait to see more stuff from him. I think some of the foliage designs are really well done. I don't know how he packed in that much vegetation into a little bit of an area, and I love the way the water's flowing up onto the beach as well. I think this is a phenomenal MOC in general, and definitely another builder you need to go check out. The final MOC on the list is titled Mud and Water by 52nd Street Bricks. Now this is a really good use of rock work, and you can see it's not just done in the regular dark grey or light grey colour scheme. I love this reddish brown. I think this would look great again on a Mimban MOC or something like that. I really think this looks super natural. You can see a lot of the bricks aren't just placed on their sides or at different angles. They're all just like sloping at crazy different angles, use different curved slopes and loads of different things like that, and different wedges to get some amazing angles. I love the use of the reddish brown, but I think the accents of olive green, dark tan and dark brown are amazing. I really love the way this turned out, and I think it's a good amount of stud exposure. Obviously sometimes you can get rock work that's a little bit too flat, a little bit too smooth, and doesn't quite look that sort of Lego-y effect, and I love the way the studs are used here to make it even more rugged. And I think the tree designs are amazing as well, and I want to finally highlight the bit at the bottom, which is the water made using these window pieces and window pane pieces just scattered across here. I think this is a really nice effect, and I really love the way that looks down there at the bottom. I think this is just an overall fantastic MOC, and we've had some really great MOCs in this first section of this showcase. But now it's time to move into section 2, which is going to be the best MOC building series that are currently going on YouTube. So now in this section I'm going to be going through all the MOC building series that I'm currently watching and following through on YouTube. Now this is one of my favorite things, is these MOC build series that you can follow from start to finish and watch all the way through. So the first one on the list is the Brickwiz with his Raxus MOC. Now I'm really enjoying this one. It's a really good MOC and it's really coming together nicely. I'm really enjoying that giant platform in the middle, and I think with those Imperial ATTs it's looking absolutely amazing. Now the next MOC on the list is from Starmark. Now he's building a really cool Starkiller base MOC in the micro scale. Now this still has a ton of details packed into this, and I really love the way this MOC is coming together. Next up we have AxiDroid. Now he is building a giant Mimban MOC. I'm really loving this series, and I'm super excited to see more and more of this. He just made a really good Imperial tank, and I think this looks amazing, and I'm really excited to see how those different trenches at different angles and things like that come together. And every Sunday I'm looking forward to more and more episodes from this MOC build series. Next up we have Southern Creator with this Nar Shaddaa MOC. Now I'm really enjoying this series as well, and I can't wait to see more as this progresses. And then a couple of series that I've kind of mentioned on the last few episodes as well is this series by my friend Not That Sam Smith. Now he's building a really cool Morak MOC, some incredible technic work in this, and I can't believe how this is coming together. And then next up we have the False Emperor by Cube Brick. This is a really great MOC, again with some phenomenal details in the snot work and different things like that in this series, and you can definitely learn a lot from this one. And the final honourable mention that I'm going to say is a bit of a rogue one. This came out a few years ago, but it's actually a series from Rich Boy J building up one of my favourite MOCs that's ever been made, and that is his Starkiller base MOC. Now for some reason I've just started to rewatch the entire series. I've watched a lot of the latter episodes, but a lot of the earlier episodes I've never watched, so I'm really enjoying watching this and seeing how this comes together, and I'm literally binge watching the entire series. So definitely one you could check out if you're interested in that sort of thing, and definitely one you could be hugely inspired by, as there's some incredible techniques in this MOC. Now this moves us on to section number 3 of MOC review, which is where I show off the MOCs that you guys send in to me. So now I'm going to try and get through as many of these as I can as quickly as possible, because we have a lot of entries. Now first of all we have Ben Bricks with this awesome clone base. Now I had the pleasure of seeing this at a recent convention, and it's a very sick MOC. Now we have EJ Sparrow with this awesome sort of Boba's throne room. Next up we have Satya with this cool base right here. This is really coming together nicely. Then after this we had Rebel Ninja with this MOC right here. I really love this design of the wall. Next up we have P2 Brick, and after that we had Cyrus as well with this awesome Tusken Raider sort of MOC right here. Next up we had Joven with this awesome sort of MOC with Luke Skywalker and some Stormy. After this, May sent me this awesome Night Buzzard MOC, and following this, Joel sent me this amazing Mando Speeder MOC. This is really nice. And after this, Dark Lord of the Brick sent me this incredible little MOC right here. Now this is a really great builder, which reminded me of another MOC he made, which I'm actually going to feature on the next episode 100%, because he is an incredible builder, and I love the way this one turned out. After this, 2Sub Studio sent me this really cool MOC right here, as well as another one from Felipe, which was sent in to me with this cool ambush. After this, Delta sent me this really nice little MOC with some cool foliage and a cool base. And then after this, Peter sent me this really great little small tower, which is a really nice micro scale build. This TIE Brute mock was sent in by Alex, which is a really nice build. Then this back to tank was made by William. After this, Kenobi Brick sent me this really nice Hoth mock, and finally we have this mock from Daniel right here. If you guys want to be featured in the next episode, make sure to send your mocks into me via Instagram and I'll get you featured in the next episode. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you really enjoyed this episode of Mock Review. If you did, smash a like on the video and of course hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date on both this series and all the other series and videos that I have going on my channel. I hope you enjoyed, guys. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.